If you have DV, then you want to go after what we call the emotional customer. They're harder to find. It takes a little more work, but we're going to do that work in the next few minutes. You may never meet them. You may never call on them in some industries. Depends on what you sell. But in a lot of situations where we're coaching, we never get access to the real emotional customer. But we can pull that person's agenda into the conversation with the logical customer, and now it becomes risky for the logical customer to not pursue your DV. So that, for those of you who are trapped in supply chain worlds and vendor management deals and all that stuff, that's how we address that. And remember, I only got two goals as a salesperson, really. I want to understand how this customer makes this decision, and I want to know whether or not they're going to value my DV in that decision, because if they're not, I know I'm going to have low price going, and is this someplace I want to spend my time? Okay? So that's what, so the emotional customer, you can't talk to them about your stuff. They'll send you to the logical customer when you talk about your stuff, because the logical customer gets paid to deal with salespeople. So you can't talk about your stuff. But they feel the pain. It shows up in their world, operationally, or it may show up financially. They may be the one getting the bill for not having your DV. Especially if what you do improves a business process. If you're about time to market, if you're about them winning more business, if you're about them keeping their best relationships longer, there are very real costs associated with not having your DV. Remember, the logical customer is isolated from those costs, and they will not go through the behavior change to get it. Is the light going on here, I hope? You may be talking to the wrong people when you're leaving your messages. Okay? The beautiful thing about selling to the emotional customer is this. You sell in what's called an an economic democracy, excuse me. It's an economic democracy out there. And the cost of the pain is where the votes are. The cost of the pains of not having you and your DV falls on the emotional customer. And whatever price concessions the logical customer hopes to squeeze out of you are peanuts compared with the cost of delaying doing business with you. But that cost is borne by the emotional customer. So to whom is our message aimed? It has to be the emotional customer, because that's the one that can tell the logical customer what to do. So now we're going to apply this to your world. You can see the assignment. It's on the screen. We're going to identify the logical and the emotional customers in your sale based on the attributes that I gave you 2 slides ago. Okay, easy to find, hard to close, don't care about your stuff, all that stuff. Identify not the names of people, but in order to apply this across a broad spectrum of your marketplace, think about them as role players. So you might want to think in terms of functions within the organization. Okay? And so, what are some examples of logical customers? Well, we touched on that. It's anybody that thinks you're a commodity and that there is no differentiation, and therefore, unless you, quote, save them a ton of money, close quote, it's not worth making a change. That's all logical customer talk.